Hi and welcome. My name is Abel Grey Cantoma. I'm from Greatest Design Consult. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers. Okay. This is we are going to be talking about TwinMotion. I'll be taking you through the process from the model itself. I don't know what software you'll be using, but I believe one of the most common softwares people use that is used by the architect is usually SketchUp and then Revit, and then I think some people use ArchiCAD as well, but I think Revit and SketchUp are very popular. So I would like to assume if you are watching this video, you are either using SketchUp or Revit, but I'm sure whatever software you'll be using will also have that same format I'll be displaying on this video. All right, so let's go to our Revit. You can see it's the same model which I have on my SketchUp. Is the same model I have here in my Revit as well. So to take this to my TwinMotion, TwinMotion is basically for rendering. It's actually a very great software that you can use for your rendering. You can see if I want to export this, I'm supposed to use the FBX. It's very important that you export as FBX. You have to use this format FBX to export your model. Let's come to our SketchUp so we could see what we have there as well. All right, so on our SketchUp, I will similarly go to my file. Sorry, it's actually still loading in the background, so let's allow it. Right, so I will go to my file here, click on file. I will click on export. I will click on 3D model. Okay, so you allow that to load. Here I will have to select from this drop down. If I click here, have a drop down menu. Make sure it's on FBX. Although there are other formats you can use, but I will recommend you use the FBX. Okay, but if you know any other formats that you can use, it's still fine. So you can export your model. So if I want to export this now, I can just give it a name, Mr. Dominic model GGG. Let me just leave it as it is like this. Make sure you know where you are exporting to. Is very important as well. So now we have click on export. Notes, like I said, is the same thing. Whatever for whichever software you are using, whether for Revit or for SketchUp, you just come to your file, click on export. So I'm not going to do the same thing here because I don't want the system to really hang. Okay, so I've been able to demonstrate that. So you have to patiently wait for this to load. Okay, so we will have to wait for it to load. All right, so once it's done, this is what it will show you. You just click on OK. Then you come to your TwinMotion. For most times I realize that when you install your TwinMotion, you hardly can find it on your desktop. So most times maybe you have to search for it or bring the what do you call it, the shortcut file to your desktop manually, but it doesn't automatically pops up on your desktop. So I will search TwinMotion. All right, so you will have to search. When you search for twin motion, right, you are going to see the setup, right? So but then if you are using 2021 version, you will just find it in the folder. Once you just click on it, it takes you direct to the twin motion actually. So you are here. This is basically the interface. As you can see, to use twin motion is quite easy. I'm just going to give you a deep overview of what you can achieve with the twin motion quickly. As you can see at the top here, it's more like giving you an overview of what these particular keys mean. You can see the Q means up, the E means down, 1 means you can see these are the speed. This is 1, this is 4. I'm going to demonstrate that to you. You can pan, you can orbit, that's from your mouse. You can see it's pointing. When you hold on your right click, when you hold on that right click, just click and hold, and then you can pan using it. You can also orbit. What it means by orbit is you can go around the model. So I'm going to quickly import a model and click on open. You remember we exported a particular model from our SketchUp, but you can do similar for your Revit as well. So either you are using Revit or you are using SketchUp, whichever one you are using will still work for you. If you can remember, this is the model, Mr. Dominic model GGG, right? I will click on open, and then I will click on OK. So it's actually loading. So if you look at this now here, where we have this FBX here, you will realize that this is our model. It has been imported already. So all I need to do is I will keep using this scroll in my mouse. I will scroll until I'm able to find it. But there's a way to make this way easier for you. If you hold on shift and hold on, and you press and hold your right click of your mouse, and you can easily hover and just orbit, right? So if you want to zoom this faster, you can hold on shift, it goes faster. You can see the numbers there determines the speed. If I press number, you can see the speed will increase. If I press 3, the speed has increased more. If I press 4, the speed is even more. Okay, so this is 1 from 1 to 4. Okay, means the speed. All right, so for me to go up and down, for me to go down, I will hold on, I'll press E. For me to go up, I'll press Q. Okay, so down is E, but for you to always for it to be faster for you, always hold on shift. It's usually way more faster, but without the shift I can also go down. You realize that the speed is less. I'm having a lesser speed. Now let me give you a little breakdown of what they mean. You can see this speed here. If I click on this, number 4 means the speed of aeroplane, the number 3 means the speed of a car, number 2 means the speed of a bicycle, and then 1 means the speed of a human being. Okay, so basically that is what it means. So by the time you press 1, it reduces the speed. That's the lowest speed, which is human. When you press on 2, that is bicycle speed. When you press on 3, that is the car speed, and then number 4, it's actually the aeroplane speed. So you realize that always when you are trying to zoom. So if you want your zoom to be faster, you can change the speed by just press the number, and that is all. Once you press the number, automatically it will be on that particular speed. So if I press number 2, that means my entire model here is on the bicycle speed. If I press on 3 and I try to zoom in better, that means my model is on the car speed. So that's basically what it means. If you look at here, we have some alphabets. The A means left, the D means right, the W means you are going front, and then the S means you are going back. So if I hold on A, you can see it's taking me along the left direction. If I hold on D in my keyboard, it's taking me along my right direction. If I hold on W, it's taking me front. If I hold on S, it's taking me back. So that's basically what it means. But then you can similarly achieve your front and back using your mouse, but the left and the right, you will have to make use of these letters, your A and D. Okay, so this is how your model is going to look like when you import. This is how it's going to look like. We imported this model with its materials. These are all the materials I applied in my software, which is the SketchUp software. Although I use Revit to do the model, I only imported the drawings into my SketchUp. But however, whichever software you are using, whether you are using Revit or you are using SketchUp or you are using ArchiCAD, or whatever architectural softwares you are using to achieve your model, you can import that model into your TwinMotion when you convert it to FBX format. All right, so our model has been imported successfully. I have been able to explain how to make use of I'm sure you know how to make use of your pan. When you hold on the center button in your keyboard, it's usually around the center that you can rotate. That usually rolls. When you hold on it, you can pan your model. I'm sure if you are familiar with AutoCAD or Revit, I'm sure you'll be fully aware of how to make use of your pan. Okay, so I've been able to show these are some of the most basic tools you are going to use as far as TwinMotion is concerned. It shares a lot of similar features with Lumion. So with a very good knowledge of TwinMotion from experience, you may not have much issue understanding Lumion, because these keys are very, very similar with your Lumion software as well. All right, so if you look at the top left corner of my screen, there is something here that looks like an arrow. I will take it back, like an arrow pointing to the right. So if you click on that, it brings you here where you have all these are your libraries. It shows you the material, vegetation and landscape, the objects, character, tools, vehicles, and user library, which I'm going to be explaining even as we progress. Okay, let's just come back to our file and do some of the basic settings you need to do first. These are very, very important settings that you will have to do on your TwinMotion before you start rendering. You need to check or change the quality of your, so we will have to come to preference. Let's see on our preference here. If you come to these settings, this allows you to change from meters to inches, your timestamp. You can do all of these settings. This in 24 hours, the reflection volume. So you can play around with these settings, although these are not the most important settings, though you can leave them at default. This means that this your work is going to be saved automatically every 15 minutes, and you are going to be having 3 copies. So you may probably want to reduce it to 1, so it's like a backup file. 33, it will automatically save to 33. Then your export here. Now you can see it tells us the path. This part means you will specify where you want your work to be saved. So you can see as it is, our work is under document. So I can decide to select anywhere on my system to save my work. So but I will leave it at default. Automatically it will create a folder called TwinMotion 2021, as because this version of TwinMotion I'm using is 2021 version, so automatically a folder will be created with the name TwinMotion 2021. So if you are using a lower version like 2019, I'm sure there is no major difference between the 2021. All these tools are very similar with that of 2019 as well, so you don't have much issues. So I'm going to leave that as it is. I will come to the quality. This is very important. It's a very important settings that you should do. Here allows you to specify how you want to set the quality of your rendering of your rendered work. Okay, you can see it starts from the low, then you have medium, you have high, then you have ultra. This is very important in a case where if you know your system configuration is low, you can leave it on medium or even on low. But if your system configuration is very high, like TwinMotion does not require a very high dedicated graphics card for it to function. But then if your system has a very good graphics card, like a dedicated graphics card, then you can leave it at ultra. But in a case where your system graphics is probably very low, maybe one gig or 2 gig, you can actually just stay in between the low or medium, or you can risk it and leave it at high. But what this means is that it's going to be a bit more slower. So the higher your system configuration, the faster it's going to be, and the better the quality of the output you are going to have. Okay, so and then you can come to the appearance here. This appearance allows you to choose a language. You can see it's at English, but if you click on that, you see Dutch, you see other languages, Portuguese and the rest. You can see French here too as well. So if you are listening to this and you are not in Nigeria or any English speaking country, you may have to select if it is among the list here of the language you want to use. And then similarly, you can specify the color interface. So the entire interface of this TwinMotion is going to be on dark, but then it allows you to select another color. You can put it on white. So but then I like to leave it exactly as it is. So we are done with some of the major settings. That is, you have to come to your file here. You can open a new project. You can open a recent project that you have probably done on your TwinMotion. You have demo scenes. This demo is just to show you all the previous scenes that has been done. It comes with the software itself. Then you can save your project. You can also save as. what save as does, it allows you to save your file in a different format. Okay, so you can do all of that. I'm sure for you to use any rendering software, you must be familiar with other maybe at least one other software, probably whether SketchUp or Revit or ArchiCAD or whatever architectural software you are using to come about your model. So if you are familiar with any of those softwares or any other software, I'm sure this is not going to be strange to you. So I'm sure you should be able to know what save is and what save as is as well. For imports is similarly just what this does for you is basically what we have here. So it's a very important tool. That is why it is outside here for you, just to make it easier for you. But you can as well import from here. You can merge models together. All that being said, in order to make this as brief as possible, we will not waste too much of our time. I'm just going to do a simple demonstration just for you to have a little insight of what TwinMotion is all about. As you can see, if I come to my vegetation and landscape, so I can change the entire landscape, okay, of this entire terrain. I can change the landscape. You can see we have a flat, we have the rock grassland, so however you want. So if I just click on it, I can just drag it and then I will drop. It will automatically take, you can see, preparing the terrain. So this entire terrain is going to be on a rocky grasslands. Okay, so you just have to visualize based on your model. That particular project, is it going to be on a rocky grassland or in a flat land? However, you can just play around with it here. Okay, so it's loading. It's usually heavy. Rendering softwares are usually heavy, so you can see what that is giving me. It's really giving me something that I will not really want. But then I will not stress too much. I will just change this to a flat land. We are going to talk extensively later as we progress, just to see how this episode we were able to add our terrain. On this, I'm going to be showing you how to add some materials. You can see when you click on glass, you can simply click on any of the glass that is available here. So whichever one I select, I can apply that material to my windows here. Okay, I think I'm having some little errors with some materials that I applied. So that is why it's very important that you apply the right materials. Make sure you don't have this material shouldn't be here. Let me find a way to change that. Wall covering, let me apply this instead. Okay, for this, so however you can play around with your materials. Let's come to our glass here. This is definitely going to be a glass. So mind you, like I said, you must be very careful from your model. Make sure the materials you are applying, you don't have a similar material. So make sure you don't have a similar material. You can see like this this ground here has a similar material with the fascia here, so which is not supposed to be so, but it's from the model itself when I imported it. Okay, so that is where that challenge is coming from. Although you can actually change that and restrict the material to be applied here alone. As we progress, I'll keep showing you some other ways to achieve your result way more easier and faster. So far so good. I've been able to show you how to import your cars, how to also put in your trees. So however, similarly, whatever you want to drag in here, if you want to fix in your characters here, you can as well do that by you coming to characters. When you come to character, whether it's an animated human, a post human, however, you can just pick any of these character and you can drop. So once you drop this your character here, you can similarly scale this. Like I explained, if you click on this drop down, it gives you the list. You can see for scale is number 7, for rotate is number 6, for move is 5. So these are the shortcut keys. Like I told you, number 1 is the speed of a human being, number 2 is the speed of a bicycle, number 3 is the speed of a car, and then number 4 is the speed of an aircraft. And then from here continuously, number 5 is for move, number 6 is for rotate, and number 7 is for scale. So all you need to know is from number 1 to number 7. Okay, so it's part of the shortcut keys that you actually need to know to make your work easier. So you can see it's on rotate. If I want to change this to scale, I will just type 7. So once I type 7, automatically it has changed to scale. If I click on that particular character, you can see it's bringing up a number for me to type in. I can rescale this to however I want it. So let me make this scale 10, right? Then I can similarly press I can click on escape to free the cursor and type in, if I want to change this to move from here. If you remember, our move is 5, so I will just press on 5. I will select, you can see automatically it has changed to move. I can just simply move this here. There are other things you can make this character to do. Let me show you. I think this is hanging on air. It shouldn't be hanging. So the importance of having a very good system cannot be overemphasized to be able to achieve a very great result. As it is, I can change. You can see it's on idle. If you look at this on this pause, I can make it to sit, but you see I don't have a seat there except I take it to the back. So what I will do, I can take it here and make it sit, right? You can see, so it's sitting. I can similarly make it, you can see I can make it speaking, it's going to be talking. I can make it lying, I can make it dancing, special, I can make it walking, so it can be walking. So however, you can play around with your character however you want it to be. Okay, so that is that about your character. If we explore more on this, you will see some other characters that are here. You can see this is for a group. Maybe you have some group of persons that are in the house or having like a discussion. You can see they are all available here, so you can add a group. All I need to do, move this, and then make sure you deselect, then you press for us to scale. I think okay, scale is 6 and 7. Scale is 7. You press 7. You press on, click on the character, and then you click on it again. Once it brings up this number for you, you type in to what scale you want it to be. So let it be at 11. Oh, I think only one character was killed. So you have to really do that manually for each of them. It's becoming slower as we are. Okay, so if you want to increase the speed of the walk, you can change it. So I just typed 2. So the 2 is the speed of a bicycle, which I believe is usually very okay for a very small building project. Okay, so just like you did for this, you can as well rescale all those characters. Okay, so these are some of the great basics of TwinMotion software. If you look at, you realize it's actually a very easy software to use. It's not very complicated to actually use. I can simply come here. You can see this part here gives you you can actually create a part for your character, you can create a part for your vehicle, you can create a part for your bicycle. I'm going to talk more on that as we progress. This location helps you to specify in what month, as the month varies, the weather changes as well. So we are in the month of October. This is basically how, now this is actually tracking my location as it is my current location. So you can see what we have there. You can also specify at what time you can, this is not offset, and then the background here, you can have another background entirely from what we have. You can see this background there that we have, it's like a city there, so you can change the background to a town. As I'm clicking, you can see it's taking effects automatically. As I'm changing, you can see everything is changing along with it. So you can change the background. Your background, you can see it's changing. So I'm going to just leave it at city. You can as well do some sort of rotation of your background. You can see as I'm dragging is moving. So probably you want to, you can see if you channel your focus here, you look at, you see how this is showing, which is very cool. So so here is a bit filled. I don't want it to look somehow empty along the sides, so you can go gently to bring it. Okay, here now it's a bit full. So that is that about this. The lightning as well, you can see here the shadow. You can play around with your shadow, white balance. You can see as I'm taking the exposure, as I'm moving, it's actually going along with me, right? So you can increase that, you can as well reduce that. So this shadow, let me okay, so you can as well come to your settings here. You can see your sun reflection. This is the reflection of your sun. You can see it's very high. You can tend to reduce it. You can increase the intensity of the sun, right? You can, the star intensity can be increased, the moon intensity can be increased, the ambient. So you can actually take out your time to practice this on your own, to test and see. Okay, so that is that. So I have spoken about this. This is your vegetation, like, you know, this is your, this one here is for vegetation scatter, the diameter of your, of those vegetation that you must have placed. So you have to drop a vegetation here. So when you drop that, you can increase the diameter of that vegetation as well. So on this sorry, let me bring back this vegetation. Let me drag this one and drop here. I can rescale it. You know, from here I told you, if you use the numbers that are here, the number 7 is for scale, right? So you can either type in 7 to bring up your, to switch to scale. Then once you are here, you can change the scale of your vegetation itself. So you can see what I have. Here you can play around with the dryness, how dry is the vegetation here. You can also increase the strip. Is the wind on or off? You can turn all of that. You can tint it by simply picking whatever color you want to actually use. So there is more to it. You can carefully check around here and play around with your vegetation. You can have, for this one also, I'll make it 50. Let's see, 50. So you can see we have them on the floor, so it looks a bit realistic, right? So this is basically how to play around with some of this. For the vegetation painting, you can see this is it. You can similarly pick any of these as well. You can see the age is at 50%. You can change that to whatever percentage. You can also rescale this to let's say I want to scale this to 3, for example, right? And I can simply also just copy this by holding on sorry, I have to hold on shift. Let's say I want to have 2 copies of this, so you can see that has been copied for me. So I will have to switch to move to simply just maybe move this here. I can switch to scale here, and then I will just rescale this to maybe something bigger, and I type 2. So you can see this is basically how to play around with some of this. While you explore the software, you will see other bigger, more realistic stuff you can achieve with the TwinMotion. Okay, so it's a very great software, a very powerful software as well, just like you have with Lumion. You can also achieve a lot using your TwinMotion. One of the basic differences is that with TwinMotion, you don't really need to have a very sophisticated system to achieve to a reasonable extent some good results. So lens flare, you can see as I'm taking it up, parallelism, the dove at what site you can see. So you can take out your time. The visual effects, there are some little like the contracts, you can play with the contracts, the saturation, you can as well play along with that. I wouldn't spend so much time trying to explain that. I deliberately had to skip this part because there is something very important I would like to talk about on that aspect of our part. So these are rocks. Let me just insert a rock here, add the scale, let's say 50. So to make the a bit more realistic, let's say we have a rock around that area of the site. So whatever you are doing, you can just take a picture of how the nature of that site is and bring up your design that looks very similar to what you have. And then mind you, you can also upload a background, so you can take a picture of a particular site, an area, and use it as a background instead of using the existing default background from the TwinMotion itself. I've not shown you that. As we progress, we'll keep exploring the software to see what we can achieve. So on here you can see we have weather as well. This helps you to tell if you are in raining season, dry season, and harmattan and all of that. So whichever weather, you can simply play along with it. You will see it taking effect on the model itself. So whatever weather, if it's in a raining season, you will see that reflecting on the model itself. However, you can take out your time to bring out your model, make it more realistic. So we don't, everywhere is looking white. We don't have snow in Nigeria or in any part of Africa. So all right, all that being said, you can take out your time, play around with this. There's nothing much to really talk about here, aside from what I have been able to explain. Mind you, you already know where to find all of this in your library. Once you come on this arrow that points this direction, you can find everything I used here as well. So they are all here. But you know, when you come here, you can easily pick your vegetation paints, vegetation scatter, and all of that. It's just a term that was used to achieve whatever. Okay, so we have spoken extensively on this. I would like to take a picture of this model. So you can take a picture, you can delete an existing picture maybe that you have taken before. These are pictures I've taken of this particular model. So you can snap from anywhere. So all I need to do is I can delete whichever one I don't want anymore, and it's in real time. Whatever you do on the model itself to reflect on this image that you have taken already. So whatever update you do on the model generally, it will take effect on the image that you have captured already. So here, let's say I want to create an image. All I need to do is click on create image, right? So you can see this is the image that has been created. So at whatever angle I want to take this, at whatever height, if I want to view it from the top, I can rotate anywhere to view this. So you can see, what I'm having. So it's coming out gradually. I'm supposed to apply material on most of this, but I didn't really apply material. So but I'm sure you know how to come about it. It's just literally going to be a repetition of whatever I've done before. So all you need to do is just to click on create image, and automatically that image will be created for you. So I'm just going to, I can delete an existing image, I can rename an existing image, I can also duplicate an existing image. All you need to do is just to click on it and you are there already. So this is very easy. You can see to make use of TwinMotion is actually not very difficult. It's a software that you can literally learn in a day if you have the time. If you spend a quality time on it, in one day you can be able to learn it. It's actually not very difficult. It's just like your normal game that you play. You know that A is left, your B is right, your W is front, your S is backward, your Q is up, your Q is downward rather, and then your E is up. So it's very easy to actually come with, just play with your keyboard, and it's rotating as you go. Right, so That being said, let's say I have this set of image I want to export. So this is image 2, this is image 3. These are the current image I just added to this model. I deleted some before, so that is why it's giving 2 and 3. You can also rename it, like we said. You can rename it to whatever. Let's say 001. This one, let's rename it to 002. So that has been renamed. So when you come down here to your export, it allows you to pick the number of images you would like to export. So you can select. So I just selected 2. If I want to select this, I will just hold on control and select. So but I don't want to. You don't even need to hold on control anyway. So you can select however whatever images you would like to export. So I've been able to select 2 of those images. Once I select that, I will just click on start export. So I will have to specify a folder. Let's say I want to use this folder. So it's exporting my model. So as we progress, I will show you how to come about your part, how to create a part, whereby you see you can make your car to move. You can make create a part where people can actually walk through and all of that. So we'll demonstrate that in the next episode. So I will see you in the next episode. All right, before then, let's look at what we have. Okay, so let me come down to my document, 3D model. I think this is it. So this is my 001, and yeah, you can see the output is not really bad, right? It's not bad. It's clear. Output is not really bad, even though I didn't really spend much time trying to bring out something that is something of strong quality, but then at least we're able to bring out something. So this just helps you to bring out whatever you want to achieve. And see, we didn't apply some of the material, so we are not getting close to even good results. But this is for the sake of tutorial, just to demonstrate what you can achieve with your TwinMotion. Alright, how to create our part. I'm going to be showing you how to create a part, how to create a custom part. Very important. And then right, let's just jump right into it. So if I come to this by my context here, you can see by the left hand side of my screen, if I click on my part, I will click on custom part. Now you can see sorry, let me take that again just to show you something. You can see if I click on this part here, we have the character part, we have the vehicle part. The character part in the sense that you can have a human walking along a path, or you can have a group of persons walking along a path. You can have a vehicle driving along a path. You can have a bicycle along a path. Then we have the custom part, which I'm going to be focusing on mainly in this particular video. But then for the character part, it's way easier. All you need to do is just to click on the part. So if I click on this character part, now you can see we have some very useful tools here. which I have demonstrated earlier before. You can see we have scale, we have rotate, we have move. If you are in this episode, I'm sure you are very conversant with this tool already. The tool I'm basically going to be showing you is this. If I click on this tool right now, which says character path, all this will allow me to do is to specify the path where I want my character to go along. So if I click on my point, I can click and move along any direction I want this to go. So you can see it's actually, I can click, and I can click. Now if you look at this, I will click on escape. Now this is the path. Now it's very tiny based on the scale that I have. Now I can increase the width of this part. So you can see I have increased the width of the part. One of the things I'm going to do in order for me to have a more realistic character or a larger scale of character is to use the custom part, which I'm going to be demonstrating for you in this particular video. But as you can see for yourself, you can see they are looking very tiny because of the scale. But then before we go to the custom, you can see based on my settings here, it's showing multi, right? So so what that means, we are going to be having a combination of Africa, Asia, Caucasian as our character here, right? So I can deselect the Caucasian and the Asian and just leave it at Africa. So every other person on this character will be an African. Okay, so you can as well change the clothing, change the width, which I just did. The density now determines how much or the volume of the traffic along this path. Okay, so you can reverse, that is, if they are moving in from left to right, you can reverse it from right to left. Okay, and then you can turn on the walk and you can as well turn it off. But it's going to be more realistic when I use the custom part. So I am going to just delete this part because I would not want to use this. I will be focusing mainly on the oh, I think I deleted something I'm not supposed to delete. Let me do my Ctrl Z. Okay, good. So I'm here now. If I come back to my context here, now I can come back to my part and I will click on custom part. Now, before I use my custom part, there is something I would like to show you quickly. I will insert my character first, and then or another thing I can do is I can basically click on this character. I already have one character here. I can click on this character. You can see the name of this character is Frank. So I can right click on this character and click on add to user library. Okay, so this is basically how to maintain a specific scale of any character, a vehicle, or your vegetations. If you could remember, when we inserted each of these, the character, the vehicle, the vegetation in our model, we had to scale them. So if you don't want to keep rescaling, you want to keep using a specific character or a specific vegetation over and over again, you can add it to your user library. So it's going to help you maintain that scale. So the scale will be maintained. Okay, so we will not have to rescale this over and over again. So if I come back to my part here and I click on part and I click on custom parts, I can then select the part I want to go. You can see this custom part, I will have to select this, and then I can click on my part. You can see as I'm clicking, it's following me. So I can make this travel to this, and then I'll click on escape. Now by default, what will happen is that I'm going to have a box like this. This is basically what I'm going to have. It's going to be a box by default. You can see this is the box moving. It's moving, is very tiny. You may not be able to see that properly, but this is the box. Now the speed, I can increase the speed. You can see if I increase the speed, you can see how fast this is actually moving. Okay, so I can similarly just click on this and then come to my user library, and I will select any of the characters that I want to make use of. So if I select Michael, for example, I will just drag this Michael and I will drop it on this box. So what will happen is this Michael is going to replace that box that is actually moving. So you can see Michael now is the one moving along this path. Okay, so this is basically how this is. I can turn off this loop. I can turn off the loop, and I will make it, I can make the loop once. I can use a once ping pong. I can use a loop. I can use a loop ping pong. So however you want to, the delay, you can play around with it. You can also rotate this character. You can see it's at 0 degree. So if I want to rotate this character now, I can basically rotate this character to, let's say, 180 degree or 360 degree rather. So you can specify so you actually need a very good system to be able to achieve a very great result for every rendering softwares you want to use. It's important you have see that is not giving me what I want. I can just drag this up. Good. You can see I can take it to 180 as well. If I want to change this to 180, 180 degrees, you can see it's at 180 degree, and I can use the reverse. So I can turn on the reverse. So you can see this is now reverse the case. So this is basically how to add a character. You can do exactly what we did for the character for that of your vehicle as well. You can as well create a part for your vehicle, right? You can create a part if you have a road along this path. You can create a vehicular part. If I come down here and I come back to my custom, I can replace I can just create a part. I can come to my custom part, and then I'll click on this part. Once I click on this, it allows me to specify the direction at which I want my vehicle to go. So I can select, sorry, I the system is lagging a bit. The truth is, the higher your system configuration, the better. So if you want to have a seamless rendering and all, you need to have a very good system to achieve that. So I'm using a system that has a 4 gig dedicated graphics card and is a quadro. So it's important if you can have maybe up to like 6 gig dedicated graphics card, you will have a seamless result. This is what I have here. Similarly, although it's lagging a bit because of the system configuration at the moment. I can select a car. So most times another thing you can do is to, although I will not, if I pick any of these cars, they are going to be very tiny. So I will also go to my user library and drag this, and I will drop this here. So you can see, instead of me having a very small tiny car, this is basically what I'm going to have. So this car is driving along this path, right? So that is basically how to achieve all of this in your Lumion, in your TwinMotion software. So in this episode, I've been able to show you how to create a part, how to add your character or your vehicle to a library, or even your vegetation. You can add it to a library. Okay, so when you add this vegetation to your library, it's easier for you to achieve a seamless result. In the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to actually use a scattered vegetation, or we use a vegetation paint or a vegetation scatter. I'm going to show you how to actually make use of this and use our vegetation into our library. We're able to create a user library. So on this episode, I'm going to quickly be showing you how to create a vegetation paint and also a vegetation scatter. So if you click on this vegetation paint, you can see you have different kinds of trees. You can as well go back and select some other kind of, whether you use bushes or you use grass, flower, to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So however, whichever one you want to add to this, you can just drag it and you will drop. So you can have a variety, most especially if you are, if the location of that site is around a very bushy area. You can have a variety of trees. So you can have all these trees in one particular area. So if I have all of these right now on, assuming in one particular site, I can just select all of these that I have dragged to this place, and you can see it has two very unique tools. One is vegetation paint, the second one is vegetation erase. So what will happen right now is, if I click on this, and I can change the diameter of this, but let's say this is the diameter I want to use. You can see as I'm dragging my cursor along that axis, you can see all those trees are being created. So if I change the diameter of this, Now what will happen is that this will increase the coverage of where my vegetations will cover. Now the more I increase this diameter, the higher the coverage. You can see this is at 26 meters, so it's going to cover up to 26 meters. This is 30. So if I just drag this along, you can see it's following. So this is basically how to use your vegetation paint. So similarly, you can increase the density. You can increase the density. All right, let's come back to our vegetation scatter, and that will be the end of this particular episode. Now for the vegetation scatter, you can see we have the grass, we have the flowers. You can similarly drag and drop. Similarly drag and drop. So whichever you want to make use of. If you want to have a combination of all of these, you can drag them and drop. So once you drag them and drop, select you can select the first one, hold on control to select the other ones. Make sure you hold on control to select all of them. Once I do that, similarly you can see here we have the scatter add, that's you want to add, and you can also reduce them. Okay, and then the last tool here, which is not highlighted, is vegetation eraser. Okay, so this will help you to erase those vegetations that you have added. All right, so if I click on add, I can just hover my cursor around where I want to add my vegetations. So you can also similarly increase the diameter of this. Sorry, my system is lagging a bit as regards to how large these files are. So it's lagging a bit anyway. So so you can try it from your own end. I'm sure it's going to really work perfectly for you. So this is basically all I need to do to reduce this. I can also similarly reduce this when I go to the quality, because if you could remember from our previous settings, it was on ultra. So if I reduce it, the weight of the model is going to really drop drastically, and then the quality will also drop, but then it will help you to have a seamless model at some point. Okay, so let me come here and come to let me just undo all of this. I'll come here, edit, we'll come to my preference. It's lagging actually. So I'm going to reduce this to maybe I will take it to medium, not even high. I'll take it to medium. All right, so I'll leave everything on medium and I'll click on OK. I'm sure it's not really going to lag as much as the previous one. So you can see I can similarly come back to my vegetation scatter, just add as many as I feel I want to include in my model. I can similarly increase their scale, reduce their scale, and all that. So there are cases where you may have all of this in a particular site. In order for you to have something very, very realistic, you can have all of this included on some location. So if I click on my plus here, scatter add, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more faster as compared to the previous settings, which was on ultra. If you could remember, we were able to export image. So what we will be doing in this particular episode is to demonstrate how to go about your walkthrough. Okay. To do that, all you need to do is to come to this place here that shows this symbol of this is media. So if you come to your media, you can see we have panorama, we have image, we have video. Now if I click on video, all I need to do is to click on add. Now if I click on add, you can see at the top here this says part 1. I can rename this, I can cut, I can copy, I can paste, I can as well even delete. Okay, so as it is, if I try to play this video, you see this is what I'm going to have. Now this is for 10 seconds, right? So I can reduce the time to let's say 3 seconds, right? And I can just move I will take another one. For this one, let me delete this. So I will add this. So let's see. So I'm going to have another one at this point. I can create another one. So mind you, I can as well even use I can as well use a picture. You can see this is a picture. So if I take this now, let's try to play this from here and see what we have. So you can see this is actually a picture. So I can change it to, let's say, 3 seconds as well, right? So if we try to play this video from the beginning here, and let's see what we have. So let's say we want to walk through into this building. So we can actually create a video. let's see what we have. Okay, I think I didn't capture that. So it's malfunctioning a bit, I don't know. So let's see what we have. So if you don't have a very good system, you will not be able to achieve anything very good with it. So let's come from here and see what we have. Okay, so this is basically what we have. Mind you, you can play around with the timing. If it's too fast, you can reduce the speed by changing the time. Okay, you can see it takes 3 seconds for this first one here to move to the next one, right? Alright, so this is basically how to come about your walkthrough in your TwinMotion software. Alright, if you, after creating your walkthrough, all you need to do is to come to your export. Once you click on export, once you click on empty here, now it allows you to select. You can see this is the previous video we just created. Once I select this now, I can then click on start export. Once I click on start export, it will export the video just like you did for the image. Is similar, it's just the same thing. And then you just go to the directory where you send the file to be able to view your file there. Okay, so similarly, just like video, you can also create a panorama. Okay, if I click on create panel, you can see this is the first one that was created for me. All right, so I'm going to see you on the next episode.